Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we are going to dive into something that's absolutely crucial for any realtor, which is how to sell a listing. But I'm not just going to give you the usual tips. We are actually going to explore from a different angle, looking at what history, biology, and some lesser known strategies can teach us about moving properties faster and more effectively. The first thing that we'll go over is the power of storytelling. One of the greatest salesperson wasn't even real estate of all time, and he was a guy named P.T. Barnum. And Barnum wasn't selling houses, he was selling experiences. But what he understood better than anyone else was the power of storytelling. When he wanted to get people to come to his shows, he didn't just list the facts. He created a narrative, something that made people feel that they were a part of something special. So how does this apply to selling a house? Well, when you are leasing a property, don't just rattle off the number of bedrooms and as well as the square footage. You need to create a story around the house, and you need to talk about the history of the neighborhood and what kind of life someone could build there. Maybe it's the perfect place for a young family to grow, or a quiet retreat for someone who is looking to escape the hustle of city life. The key is to make potential buyers feel like they're already living there. The second thing we'll go over is the biology of buying. And here's what most people forget. Like, buying a house is an emotional decision. Like, yeah, maybe people think that they are being logical, but they will talk about the price, mortgage rates and all that, but at the end of the day, it's the emotion that will seal the deal. And there's this part of the brain that is called the limbic system, and is the emotional center, and it plays a massive role in decision making. And when you are selling a listing, you need to appeal to the part of the brain. Now, how exactly you do this is by creating an emotional connection. So when you are showing a house, don't just about the features. Talk about how those features can make the buyer feel. So instead of saying this room gets a lot of sunlight, say imagine waking up in the morning with the sun pouring into the room. Now let's take a step back into the ancient times. Like, traders along the Silk Road use a tactic that's still incredibly effective today, which is called scarcity. And they knew if something was rare, people would value it even more. So what they did was to hype up the limited availability of certain goods, and suddenly everyone wanted them. And the principle was just finding real estate. And if you've got a listing that it's in high demand, or it just has unique features that are hard to find, don't be afraid to highlight them. You need to create a sense of urgency by letting our potential buyers know that this opportunity won't last forever. And you can say houses in this area don't stay long on the market, or this is one of the few properties with a private garden in the city. And by creating a sense of scarcity, you tap into the natural human instinct, which is the fear of missing out. And that's a powerful motivator when it comes to closing deals. Now, let's talk about the psychology of pricing. And that's a psychological principle called anchoring. This can make a huge difference in how buyers will perceive the value of the listing. And anchoring is when people rely too heavily on the first piece of information that they get, and in this case it will be the price. Here's how you use it. When you're setting the price for a listing, start by setting a higher number as a reference point. So for example, you might say similar houses in the area have sold for $500,000, even if you are listing it at $450,000. That high number will set an anchor in the buyer's mind, making your listing seem like a great deal by comparison. But you need to be careful, because this only will work if your listing is actually priced well. And if you reckon too high, you risk scaring off buyers. And the key is to make a perception of value that makes your listing feel like a steal. Well, if you got value from this video, please hit that subscribe button and I'll see you next time. Bye.